right, sir. Anime bitches, I look at her titties, then I take her home and we count up these 50s. I come to your city, I sneak in your chimney, I tickle her kidney, and then I watch Disney. I love me some hentai, I go on X videos. Bitch, I'm D-Bangz, stick my dick in your Cheerios. Bitch, I'm D-Bangz, I might fuck my computer, I will.
Yo, what is up guys? It is your boy Kid Vegito here, back with another tutorial. So today, well actually, before we start the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated, and tap that bell icon so you can so you can get notified whenever I have a new video that's going to be posted. So yeah, let's get right into it. So step 1, open up Cinema 4D, pretty simple. Step 2, go ahead to your cubes up here and grab a plane. Now, a little introduction. Today we're going to be making snow. This is pretty simple, just like that sand tutorial I made. So yeah, if you don't know what the sand tutorial is, I will have a link to that in the description. So first off, for scaling, we're just going to go ahead and load in a character. So go to File, go to Merge, and then find a character that you want. Now we're not going to be doing anything to the character. We're just going to be loading him in for scale reasons. So once that is in, you want to drag a character up right on top of the plane, and if you want to be super accurate, go ahead and click your middle mouse button, and you can do this, and you can just select your character right here in the objects and just drag him up. But that's if you want to be super accurate, I don't really care. Anyway, so step 2 is to make our plane as like really big as you want it. So down here to your width and height, you want to make it about 5,000 by 5,000. Let's go like bigger than that, like a lot bigger. So we're going to go 12,000 by 12,000. Okay, that's a lot better. So now we're going to go to our width and height segments. Before we do that, actually, go into your display and turn on Godard shading. And what that would do, it will show you all these segments, and it will just help us out real quick. Now back to the other part. Click on your plane, go to your width segments and height, and make them 300 by 300. And then once that is done, you can go ahead and press C on your keyboard, and that will make the plane editable. If you're missing a C key on your keyboard, then just click on your plane, and see this button all the way over here, just click on that. And what that would do, it will make it editable so we can start modeling our plane. So this is really simple now. All we have to do is add some stuff to our plane. So go to your little box right here into this polygon mode, and then right click, oh wait, hold up, click on your plane, and you will know when it's clicked, and then right click and go into your brush. Now what you want to do is you want to check surface, and in your fall off you want to make it linear, and in your mode you want to make it surface. And once that is done, you want to put your strength at like 30%. And you want to make your radius 800. So in this part right here, we can actually, well, let's actually make it 1200. In this part, what we're going to do is we're going to make large little gaps and stuff, and then we're going to gradually decrease our radius. So let's just go ahead and make stuff. If you're really laggy while making this, then you want to go all the way back to the step where we were editing our plane segments, and you wanted to make it like 100 by 100 or 200 by 200. I mean, it's up to you. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and gradually go over my plane and just make random bumps and curves and all that other sweet stuff. You want to do this all over. Add lots of variation. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to decrease the radius to 800, and then we're going to go over it again. You want to get every little Every little piece is possible. And just like that. Seems like I made a mistake right there. I'll fix that up. So if you make a mistake, like it's too pointy, just press Ctrl Z to go back. And then you can start redoing it. And now that that is done, we can go ahead and decrease the radius to 400 and then start making some very small ones. So you just want to make your mouse kind of go in circles randomly, and then boom. Now if you really have little itty bitty spikes, we'll fix that up in the next step. Don't worry about it right now, because yeah. Alright, so once that is done, keep doing this. And right there is probably good enough for me. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with it. So yeah. Alright, that pretty much works. Well, let's go to 1200 again. And let's just make this whole segment right here big. Let's make this whole segment right here kind of big too. And once you're done like modeling your terrain, what you want to do is go to display and go to Godard shading. And then once that is done, click on this move axis tool right here and just click on your object mode. And as you can see, we have some pretty nice snow terrain. Even though we don't have a texture on it, but that's some pretty good detail. It will really help us out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make some background stuff. But before we do that, we're going to need a camera position. So go ahead and find anywhere on this terrain that you find will make a good look. And once that is done, you want to go into your camera. Well, you want to find a position. And then you want to go to camera. You want to go to create. Then go to camera right here and choose camera. And once that is done, you want to right click, go to Cinema 4D tags and choose protection. And what that will do is make sure our camera doesn't move whenever we're in our mode, so it's locked right there. Alright, so now that we're in this perspective, we want to make some background stuff. So go to your cubes again and make a landscape. And then we want to make this landscape just big. So grab your scale tool and just click anywhere on the screen and drag out. We don't really have to worry about the detail on this. We can really just lazy this out for the landscapes because it's just a background object. We don't need to focus on it. But you will want to add a little bit of variation to it. So for example, go to your landscape and change the seed. And then go to this one, you can also change the seed. And that right there is working for me. And you can keep on doing this for however long you want to. You can have like 100 different landscapes in the background. It's all up to you, it's all up to what you're aiming for. So now that our scene is set up, what we can do now is go ahead and make our snow material. So go to create, go to new material, double click on it, and then go ahead to color and make this completely white. Next thing we want to do is we want to go to our reflectance and make this width kind of lower and this fall off kind of low. And now the last step, what we want to do is go into our bump, and in this texture area right here, just click on these 3 buttons. And let's see if we're going to find my snow texture. I will have this texture in the description, so don't be scared or anything. And now for this part right here, what we want to do is click on this arrow, go to filter, click on the filter, and we want to make the saturation 0, and we want to increase the contrast, kind of make that bump, kind of make the dark areas darker and the light areas lighter, I guess. Alright, so once that is done, you want to make your strength kind of high. I'd say about 90. I mean, we'll be doing test renders to figure this out. It's all dependent on the scales. And that's pretty much it for our snow material. Now we want to drag this material onto our plane. We want to check seamless. Yeah, so click on this texture tag, check seamless, make sure projection is cubic. And what that will do is it will make sure that our texture doesn't look super blurry all across. Now if it's too repetitive, you can go to your tiles U and V and make them like 0.5 and 0.5. And you can just do that. And now what we want to do is we want to grab a test light. So go to create and go to physical sky and grab a physical sky. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure our time is set to, well, click on your physical sky, go to time and location and make sure it's on December. And we can change around with the time some, and just like that. And next step is to go to your render settings, go to effect and choose ambient occlusion and go to global illumination too. In your preset right here under global illumination, you want to make sure that it's on exterior preview. And once that is said and done, you can close that out. And now we're going to start giving ourselves some test renders. And as you can see folks, that's some really nice snow. But there's a little bit more detail we can put into this. So click on your plane and go to these deformers right here, modifiers, and you can add a displacer. And drag this displacer under the plane and go to your shading, and in the shader make sure you choose noise. I'm going to choose, well, click on your noise and go to wavy turbulence. And then you want to go back by clicking this arrow, go to your object and kind of make the strength like, I don't know, you just want to play around with it. And once that is done, what you can do next is go ahead again and grab a smoothing modifier and put that under the plane. And just like that, we have a little bit of extra detail. We can probably go, well no, that's actually good enough. So yeah, that's our detail right there. And now for the background stuff, we can just click on this texture tag, hold Control and drag it. And then hold Control and drag it again. And then just like that, our texture we had on this is applied to these two. Now if you have a little imperfections right here, and if you're really worried about fixing that up, what you can do is you can click on your landscapes and just make the segments like 1000 by 1000. But be warned, sometimes it can slow down your PC if your PC is not powerful enough. So don't keep it in landscape, just press C to make them editable. And now let's make another test render and see how this looks. And that looks pretty awesome. And that folks is how you make some nice snow. I'm going to, now if you want to go ahead and position your Roblox character, you can just literally put your character anywhere in the scene and just make stuff. You can add the materials. If you don't know how to make a nice Roblox material character, I will have links in tutorial links in the description below. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the tutorial guys. But for your final render settings, I have another thing to say. Go make sure your global illumination, go to preset and make sure it's exterior physical sky. And that will give you that final result you might want to look for. So yep. And just like that is how you make snow in Cinema 4D for your Roblox art. Thanks for watching guys. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe for more tutorials. Vegetable Gang, peace out. See you in the next one.